So now this is part 6 of our full course series on YouTube. If you haven't watched the previous parts and you're not familiar with Figma or HTML, CSS at all, make sure to go back and watch the previous tutorial parts. So far we managed to learn the difference between a dynamic button that grows in Figma, and we replicated that in the front end using HTML and CSS. Also, we managed to create our buttons that are fixed in width and learn the difference between two. We also learned how to use an attribute called class. Classes allow us to separately select HTML elements and give them certain CSS styles. Not only that, if we use a class in CSS, we can actually reuse it across our HTML file. For example, we have this sign up. So if I go ahead and let me just remove the text here and I duplicate this. If I go ahead and save this, here we see that we have sign up and again sign up. And if I just simply change the text to cancel, for example, and save this, you see that we are reusing our CSS style across HTML. The way we do that in Figma is by creating a component. So if you decide to create components and you want to reuse them, you simply would click on your button. In this example, we have this button. Let me just remove all the extra text. We have this sign up button. And if we go ahead and click on that tiny icon on the top right, which is create component, able to create a component out of the Figma auto layout frame. Now, since I created the component, I can hold Option on my keyboard, drag it out. And also let me just drag it out multiple times. Hold Command and D to duplicate that. If I simply change the text on any of them, for example, cancel, buy, delay, for example. And if I click outside, here we have 4 buttons and we have a master component. So if I go ahead and change this color to a purple color, let's go with 210 or maybe 270. There we go. Now you see the buttons that I have on my project actually gets the same values. So this exactly works the same way in CSS. So all I have to do is, instead of actually renaming my component to button, for example, I would just give this primary dash button. And this one, the reason I'm giving it all lowercase with no spacing, because I do want to reuse this name as my CSS class. Also, I'm going to delete the other button, so we just focus on one button for now. Also in Figma, as soon as you create a component, if you take a look at it, it has this diamond shape, which is 4 different square rotated. And if you use another instance of that master component, again, this is called instance in Figma, it has the same diamond shape, but it is hollowed. So it's empty. That means this is an instance. And in Figma, if you have the master component, it is actually shown as 4 squares. Since we renamed this to primary dash button, I'm going to double click to copy that. Now I visit HTML. So all I need to do is basically remove the login. We no longer need that. Also, we no longer need that. Also, I'm going to duplicate this another time. For example, call this buy and cancel and save this. So we have 4 different buttons and the name is sign up. So all I have to do is basically rename all of them one by one. In Visual Studio Code, if you have multiple items that you want to rename, you can hold Command Shift and A. This way you can select the next available match. This is a shortcut that I customized on my own. So if I click outside, if you don't have this shortcut set up, all you have to do is bring the quick action and search for the keyword selection. And as you can see, the command that I'm using is called add selection to next find match. And I customize it to Shift Command and A. Again, you can click on that and you can customize it to your keyboard shortcut. But for now, I have this as Shift Command and A. So if I go ahead and highlight that sign up, it's going to highlight the matching selections for me. So I would hold Command Shift and A and then repeat that multiple times. Now, if I go ahead and delete that, I can actually rename this to primary button, but I already copied that to my clipboard. So I Command V that, and now I pasted primary dash button as my class. So if I go ahead and save that, click outside, save that, you see on the right hand side, it actually removed all the styling for me, even though I renamed it to primary dash button. And the reason is we also have to rename our class to primary dash button. So here, this is our master class. So I'm going to remove that, paste primary dash button, and then save that. And now I have exactly linked my buttons to my class. Also, if I go back to Figma, for example, if I decide to click and add border radius, in Figma, you would add corners by basically going to appearance. Here you see we have this appearance, and I can individually add them corners by clicking on that. However, I do want to give them all individual corners. So here I would just go ahead and select 8 pixels. And I do want to make the paddings a bit larger. So here on the left and right side, I would give them 16. Top and bottom, I would give them 8. So I kind of double the amount of padding size. Also, I need to copy the hex value here. So I selected this purple. So I need to copy that and also update the padding and update the border radius. So if I navigate back to Visual Studio Code, the first thing that I need to do is to click on my background color, since we already know about that, add the new purple value, save this. Now, as you can see, as soon as I update one single value, all the buttons on my HTML that has the primary dash button class would get the update. Also for my padding, I already covered padding in my previous videos. In this example, we are using a shorthand for the padding, which is 8 pixels for top and bottom and 4 pixels for left and right. So I'm going to basically update the value to 16 pixels on left and right and 8 pixels on top and bottom. Because I have that auto layout created, as you can see, 16 pixels of padding is added to left and right, and 8 pixel is added to top and bottom. So here I would just need to write 16 pixels and 8 pixels, but you have to pay attention is as soon as you add the first value, this would be added to the top and bottom. So I don't want that. So I want to make sure that the 16 pixel is added to the left and right. So I have to bring the 8 pixels in the beginning to make sure that 8 pixel is added to the top and bottom and 16 is added to the left and right. If I go ahead and save this, now you see that my sign up buttons have different padding. Not only that, I also need to make them individually rounded. And the property that we use to round corners on CSS side is called border dash radius. Again, border dash radius allows us to individually round corners. The same way we add one value in padding and margin, if we do add one value to our border radius, that would be applied in all directions. We can also explicitly add border radius by writing border dash top dash left dash radius. And as you can see, if you want to follow this, it's a bit lengthy. So you have to type a lot of properties to actually get what you want if you do want to individually round them. However, you can also use a shorthand way. If you decide to add border radius to the top left, you can just simply add the first value and it would be added to the top left. Same thing if you add your second value, it would be added to the top right. Your third value would be added to the bottom right, and your last value would be added to the bottom left. This exactly is true in Figma. So if I go ahead and click and try to drag that outside by holding Alt or Option in Mac, and if I try to click on that, you see individually it starts with top left. Here you see my top left is being rounded, and now I have the top right and then bottom right and then bottom left. So this is how you would individually round corners in Figma, and this is how you would individually round corners in CSS by adding 4 values or individually declaring them one by one. Or if you have one single value, you can simply add that as one value and it would automatically get applied to all directions. So all I need to do is come to Visual Studio Code, write border dash radius, and then again if I press return on my keyboard, it automatically generates that for me, and then I would add 8 pixels and save that. And as you can see, as soon as I add that one line, all my buttons would get that update. So in Figma you might have a secondary button, and if you, for example, want to have your sign up to be this solid color and you want to have your cancel to have a border with a different color, we have another property. So if I go back to Figma, here we have our primary button, and the way we add a different variation is by basically clicking on the master component, holding Option or Alt to duplicate that, and then basically bringing the quick action and detaching it here using detach instance. As soon as we detach this instance, we can create a separate component out of this, again by clicking on that component icon up top, or you can always bring the quick action by clicking on command/. Again, always command/ is your best friend. So here I can search for create component, and as you can see, it is grayed out because I need to select my button and then search for create component. And as soon as I do that and I create my component, now I have 2 components added. So what I can do is I can highlight both of them, and then as soon as I highlight them, you see on the top side we have an option called combine as variants. So I can go ahead and click on that, and right now you see my component is actually being dotted. So now I have 2 components that is grouped by something called primary dash buttons. Also, if I basically click outside, Command Z that, Command Z multiple times and delete that, you can always click on the master component, and also you have the ability to click on that tiny icon. This allows you to add a new variant. So if I go ahead and do that, it automatically creates another variant for me. So right now I have primary dash button, and then here I have two components that are grouped under one master component. So this group is called variants in Figma. So what we need to do is break that down to CSS classes. So on the Figma side, if I click on that one, so what I would do is I would just give this a generic name, for example, button. And what I need to do on my property side here, Figma give this a default property, property 1. So all I need to do is click here, double click, just write CSS class. There we go. And by doing that, I am defining a custom property called CSS class. And now I can click on my first one, which is sign up. And then instead of having this as default value, I could write primary dash button. And then I can go to my second button. Let's go ahead and change the color. In this example, I need to copy the fill value, go to the stroke, and then paste that. There we go. And then change that to, for example, white. There we go. Also, I do want to change the text. So on my second variant, I want to click on that and also change that to the purple color. There we go. Or maybe you don't want that. You want to have your second button with no fill background. So you can always do that. And that can be your second button as your secondary. Also, you have the ability to make them a bit lighter. So if I go back and add the fill, which is the background color of my secondary button, I can go here, paste the value, click on my basically fill icon, and I have to make sure I basically navigated from hex to HSL. We haven't got into HSL, but what HSL allows us to do is to reduce the lightness and saturation to create a different color from the same family. So all I have to do is select the third one. Again, if I hover over it, you see Figma tells me that is a lightness value, and I would just bump it to 90. And then I can also basically go over my saturation, maybe reduce that to 80 if you do want to, or you can keep it as 100. And by doing that, you see Figma generates the hex value for me. So what I can do is I can basically use this hex value on my front end in VS Code and change the classes. So the last thing I need to do is to update my property in my button variant. So if I click on my button variant and I select my second one, here you see my first one is being set to primary dash button. All I need to do is to update my second one. So I would just go ahead and rename this to secondary dash button. There we go. So now if I go ahead and click on the cancel one on the top side, on the variant section, I have the ability to swap between CSS classes. So here I have a primary button. Now I can click on my secondary button and you see my class is being applied here. Behind the scene, this is not how Figma works. But if you do rename your properties based on a CSS class, and if you collaborate with the developers, they would know to choose what class on the front end. So if you again rename your properties as CSS class, now this is more organized. If a developer visits this file and takes a look at the properties and notice that we have a property called CSS class, which is set to secondary button, and all we have to do is to update that on the Visual Studio Code. So all I need to do is grab this fill value, go to Visual Studio Code, and right now we have primary dash button. So all I need to do is create another class. Again, starts with a dot, and now I would just write secondary dash button, and then open and close the curly brace. And the only thing that I need to change is background color. So I would press tab on my keyboard and then hold hashtag and then paste the background color value that I have copied from Figma. Also, I use the same hex value here on the Figma side for my color. So I would just basically copy that and then write color. And then I would just give it again another hex value, save that. Also, I need to exactly have the same display property with the padding size and border radius. So all I need to do is copy the same values to my secondary button, paste them. And one last thing that I need to do is to add the border. So in Figma, we can add border using stroke, but in CSS, we have a property called border. And the way it works is you can either write it as a shorthand version, which is border. You have to pass 3 values. Or you can explicitly define them using border dash width or dash style and dash color. And this would apply to all directions for your button. I usually go with the shorthand version. So I would just write border. The first value is going to be the border width. So I would give it 1 pixel because I have it as 1 pixel in Figma. The second one is how you want your border to be, which is a solid line, and lastly, the color of your border. So if I navigate back to Figma, here you see we have our secondary button. If I scroll down, we have 1 pixel of stroke. You can think of it as border, which is applied in all direction, and this is the hex color. So if I basically visit Visual Studio Code, all I need to do is create another line break and just write border, press return on my keyboard, give it 1 pixel, add a space, give it the keyword of solid, and add a space, and then finally copy the hex value here. There we go. I copy it to my clipboard and I paste it, and that's it. I'm all done with my secondary button. And the last thing for me to do is to update my HTML. Instead of having primary dash button, I would just double click and then write secondary dash button. As soon as I save that, right now you see my secondary button is changed. So in Figma, you basically would click on your variant, or in this example, we have our instance, and you have the ability to switch between primary and secondary. In the front end, what we do is we give our elements a class, and then we basically choose our classes this way.